Bueno.
Well, I think we can start now. Are we ready? Sorry? Do we start? Okay, good afternoon. Technical problems are solved. Thanks again for your patience and for being here in our workshop. I want to thank the organizers of this magnificent 4th Congress, and above all, to all the people following us by streaming, from the different nets, all our colleagues, the subtitle colleagues, people behind all the audio and the recording, for the whole team. My name is Juan Luis Quincoces. I'm the General Director of the CENTAC Foundation, Technologies for Accessibility. We represent the Ministry of Health, the Ministry of Industry through the net.es, Vodafone Foundation, Telefónica, El Corte Inglés. I have to moderate this fantastic round table. Well, first of all, to make it shorter, I want to talk you about the Cecilia, responsible for the National Federation of Hotel Industry. She has a degree from the Carlos III University. She has been working for several years in management of projects for social integration and labor integration. This is a pleasure for us to listen Spanish gastronomy, flavors for all. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you to the ONCE Foundation for giving me this opportunity of being here. I'm gonna try to make it short, but please aware me if I take too much time. Yes, I come from the Spanish Federation of the Hotel Industry. This federation is a unique entrepreneurial organization representing the hotel industry at the national level. We champion our sector. We have to make actions and projects in order to help the SMEs to support their management. When we talk about the hotel industry, it's not only hotel, but also restaurants. It's hotel and restaurants. In fact, we work more at the restaurant sector. I bring here some figures about our sector, not in order to analyze them in whole, but just to have an idea, to know that is 356,000 companies. This figure means that we are talking about a sector with plenty small companies, family companies. Most of them are self-employed. So it's very difficult to make possible to bring some messages for them, because it's very difficult for them to carry all these initiatives on because of their size. The aim of my speech is to analyze the situation of accessibility together with restaurant sector in order to think about some solutions that we have been working on. As analyze of the situation that we are in now, I would speak about what restaurants and gastronomy means now in Spain, what gastronomy tourism means, because many people come to Spain just, well, to eat. What we cook in the Spanish kitchen and what it is produced here. But in Spain, gastronomy, the bars, pubs, the famous tapas, Spanish aperitifs, is part of our gastronomy. So to make accessible restaurants is not only to boost tourism, because what is interesting today, because we are in this Congress, but it is always to normalize people's lives with special needs. On the other hand, what is important for a company, the business itself, we have to analyze 3 points. I will be very quick because we have been talking about this. Is the average spending of the disabled tourist is 80% higher than the rest. Yes, they cover other seasons that normal tourist doesn't cover. And of course, it is a niche of market, which is very important nowadays for the sector. In this situation, and after this analysis, we find some weakness that can help us to make a better accessibility in restaurants. What are those weaknesses? I'm going to describe them very quick in order to get to the solution. On the one hand, the lack of knowledge of the kinds of accessibility and the kind of disabilities. Many times, the restaurant entrepreneur doesn't have an idea about these disabilities. Maybe they think it's just mobility disabilities, but because they don't know them, then they cannot satisfy this need, and they cannot offer what they need. On the other hand, it's because it is really expensive to adapt the infrastructure. Yes, it's true. There is a real cost that the sector cannot pay, but also it's a bit a kind of legend, because there are many accessibility factors that just knowing them and just with a bit of imagination, this establishment can be accessible for all. Then about law, it's a bit complicated and confused, the law, because sometimes it's not easy for the entrepreneurs to understand. And also, there's a lack of data about the market and the people moving around Spain with disabilities. Not to be negative, of course, we have strengths also to be evaluated. It's a sector with a customer vocation. All of you know about this. There are many accessible points that the establishments already have, and they don't even know about them because they don't know about the disability kinds, or they don't know how to adapt them. For example, about mobility, and maybe they already count on this, and they can make easier the access to many people, the kind of menus, just the way of how the menu is presented. They don't take it as accessibility, but it is. Also, there are other kind of mechanisms get the information. And yes, we were talking about a niche of markets, and another strength in that we need to make the market wider. So because we need to make it wider, then it sounds to be perfect to make accessible establishments. What is the response that we gave from the new technology point of view? We have worked on a project together with the ONCE Foundation, a 3-part project. There's a web page which is called Accessible Hotel Industry, Hotelería Accesible, with some features. We want to put together a lot of information just in one site, but also a site, an interesting site for disabled people, but also for those people without disabilities. And on the other hand, it's a kind of a spirit of freedom. I mean, we don't tell anybody where they have to go or not. We just describe the establishments so that everyone, depending on their needs or circumstances, they can choose. In the sense, I am going to describe the different parts of the site to give you an idea. Okay, I have 3 more minutes. Okay. I'm going to describe the features of the sites. There is a first part, there is a researcher, an establishment researcher, giving information about the establishment we are looking for, what kind of menus, the average price, the physical structure of the establishment, if the menu is available for people with visual impairment. But also for the establishment to be registry, we need application. In the application, the businessman can already discover those points that, as we said before, maybe he still doesn't know. I invite you to know I invite you, because if you know some accessible establishments, I invite you to let us know. Next. They won't give in response. Yes, sorry. This is the response for the other part of accessible tourism. We made this restaurant industry website, but of course it is useless if I know where to eat in some place, but I don't know the whole offer, the whole tourist accessible offer. So we want to include all these offer in the site. Sorry. Another part is about tourist information in general. It is obvious that a disabled person wants to know about tourism and gastronomy and all the information in general as other people. So it's not a website only for disabled people, but for everybody. Obviously, this specific information about disabilities, about laws, different meetings as this one. And another important question is to include here anything that help the tourist establishments in order to make them accessible if they are not. So I just invite you, all the users and the public institutions, any tourist businessmen, because we want to make from this web page a useful tool in order to make the sector, the restaurant sector, much more accessible and to be able to offer a wider offer to all those people with special needs. I finished. Thank you.
Muchas gracias.
Thank you, Beatriz. You have tackled a fundamental topic for Spain. We all know that tourism, apart from being a service to which we all have a right, it is one of the driving forces from the economic point of view. Apart from being a place where you have to take actions, this kind of actions. We also have to take advantage of market opportunities, because these services are needed. Thank you. The next speaker. Thank you for coming, Stephanie Olive. Thank you. Stephanie has a bachelor's degree in law. He works for Biplan in Barcelona. She works closely with Polymorph and Design Consulting Company. They work in tourist applications for all kinds of people. They have received different awards on application on the Normandy disembarkment that was awarded by the French Ministry of Culture and Education for the adaptation to all kinds of people, visually, audibly impaired people. Thank you for being here, Stephanie. And she's going to talk about how to adapt cultural and tourist applications to make them accessible to everybody. Hello. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Stephanie, I'm French, and I work for Biplan in Barcelona. As I have already mentioned, we are developing and we are creating content for mobile apps for tourism. I'm going to talk about how to adapt them so that they can be accessible to all kinds of people. How did it start? How did we come up with the idea? We had different objects. The first one was to create a unique and attractive product for everybody. It was meant to be for disabled people and for their companions. The second one was to enrich the cultural visits and tourist visits using new technologies. We want new technology to contribute with its innovative dimension to the visit. The visit and the content that can be found in the mobile apps, we want it to be accessible to disabled people. The third objective was to improve accessibility using practical information. We wanted the site to be accessible, but we also wanted disabled, for example, people with physical disabilities, we wanted them to be able to find adapted sites. We have learned from our experience and we have developed two apps. The first one is on the Titanic topic. I'm going to show you some photos. This is a real augmented sea site, which you can see using a tablet. When we are on the promenade in Cherbourg, in the south of France, you can see a reconstruction of the Titanic. This is another view of the Titanic. I had changed my speech, my presentation, but this is not the good one, but it doesn't matter anyway. This is a 3D image on the Titanic topic. Then the second app is on the Normandy disembarkment in 1944. Here I had included images from the application, but we don't have them now. Anyway, it doesn't matter. That's the same logic. We have to give information on the disembarkment in Normandy in 1944. And these two apps, we wanted them to be adapted to all kinds of public. And through this experience, we want to rule out 6 key points in an easy way. The first of these 6 points is that the design of an app must be adapted. There are some rules, some simple rules that enable design to be accessible for disabled people, for visually disabled people. In this sense, there are some color rules, printing, there are some rules related to contrast of colors that must be clear. The presentation must be simplified. We must have access to different options available in an application in an easy way. And we have to have access to these options all through the app. We don't have to get out of an option to enter another one. Here you can see the home page of the Titanic. It's black and white, so that you can have a multimedia visit and a multimedia description, and we wanted them to be easily accessible. In the audio descriptive part, we have a pause button or a play key so that you can easily press them. This was the first point. The second point is the integration of audio description. The smartphone and the tablets are tools that allows us to integrate different kind of content. In this sense, we can use them to integrate audio descriptions for visually impaired people so that they can have access to content and cultural content and explanations. So this is a unique support, the tablet and the app that provide cultural information on the site, information that is useful both for disabled and non-disabled people. These are the audio guides that we integrated into the Titanic app. You can also see on the bottom side that when we are not during the multimedia visit, you can go back to the descriptive part. We also use NFC tags and QR codes in order to be able to download parts of the apps depending on where we are located or where the person is located. An NFC tag, I imagine everybody knows. It's a technology that enables communication between two devices. It has the same functioning way as a QR code because you can download it allows the download of content. Why do we use this technology? Because you cannot ask a visually disabled person to focus a QR code to have access to content. But they only have to use the mobile to get it closer to the device, and they can have easy access to the desired content. The visually impaired or disabled people will have access to this kind of technology much easier than the rest of us. This is a technology that they are going to use, and we want to give them the opportunity to download content using this technology. This is an illustration of the promenade in Cherbourg, where you can see there the two devices are available, and the QR codes and the NFC tags. Adaptation of urban furniture. The primary conditions for a site to be accessible is that the site must be adapted. The application can't make the site available. The infrastructure must be adapted. The problem is that the app complements strategically, because you can find information on the spot And using the app, we provide interactive information and virtual information. This information reaches disabled people too. The two go together, and using these two technologies, the urban furniture and the apps communicate between each other, and it's a common activity. And they help cultural information to be accessible for disabled people. The app also helps people with movement disabilities, but we have to take into account the infrastructure such as adapted bathrooms, parking seats, ramps, that will be able to locate easily using these applications. This is an embossed map on the promenade that gives information. We haven't eliminated the maps to replace them with applications, but they complement each other. We have videos in sign languages. It's the same as audio guides. Thanks to the technical specificities of the smartphones, we can integrate into the same device, into the same tool, which is the app. We can integrate videos in sign language so that auditory disabled people can have access to the content and to the information, to the cultural information that it is provided. We can also integrate captions in different languages with the same aim. Here you can see an image, a video integrated into an application, a Romanche, with sign language interpretation. The last point, it's more or less a conclusion. The 5 previous points, we have created them in order to create an attractive product for all. The disabled people usually travel accompanied, so we don't want to exclude a segment of the public to integrate another. It doesn't make sense. What we have wanted to do, what we have tried to do, is to create a product, a tool for everybody, for all, so that everybody can enjoy it, both the disabled people and the people who accompany them. And the same product can be used by many people. And the aim of this application is to make an enjoyable product. These are some images where you can see that from the very beginning, access is very easy. In the third image, you can activate options according to your peculiarities, to your physical peculiarities. You can customize your needs. You can also see that you can come back, you can change, you can find the content you are looking for. Conclusion, what we have learned from this experience, what we can emphasize is adaptation and quality go hand in hand. There are some obligations, but if we work together, if we make compromises, it's obvious we cannot do everything perfectly, but we can increase the quality of the offer. We have seen that it is possible to create products that are good looking, and attractive at the same time, good looking and attractive for everybody. It is nothing impossible. You have to take it into account from the start of the project, and then bearing this in mind, they enable you to create to complete an accessible product. There are some volume problems, including the size of the app, because we have to integrate many videos, and the applications are quite big. And we mustn't forget the cost of the adaptation. You have to take into account. It's not costless. As per our company, I haven't talked about our company. I want to do it now in the end. Bplan is an agence. It's a French agence. We are also operate in Spain, in Barcelona. We are specialized in creation of mobile content for applications using different technologies: video, the augmented reality, virtual reality, and 3D. You have already seen, I imagine, our objective is to create solutions, innovating solutions, interactive solutions, which give an added value. I also represent the collaboration with a consulting company, Polymorph Design, which specializes in accessibility systems and carries out studies and inceptions for tourist destinations, museums, monuments in the open air, and we work together to adapt the applications. These are our contact coordinates. Thank you very much.
Muchas gracias.
Thank you very much, Stephanie. I keep the last you said. Everything was very interesting, but really the concept about the inclusive adaptations, we need to include them in a field of quality, all those products, and they have to be attractive, and they can help to make even more attractive the whole cultural environment. Thank you very much for your speech. Next speaker is Marisa Torre. Thank you very much for being here. She is part of the Vodafone Foundation. She's a colleague and a friend and a wonderful professional. She has a mobile communication master from the Catalonian University. Really, as director of the Department of Innovation of the Vodafone Foundation, she boosts the use of new technologies in order to help us for the autonomous life for elderly people. And we can find her in many, many projects all around the country. Thank you very much, Marisa Tour. You are going to talk about accessible tourism mobile application tool for all. Thank you very much, Juan Luis. Thank you to the organizers. Congratulations for making possible this 4th Congress in this city. As Avila, we have seen, it has many, many tourist opportunities. I think I had to talk in the 5th. Oh, sorry. Could I get my presentation, please? It's number 5, really. The title is Tour for All, Tourism for All. It's number 4. Number 4, yes, okay. Okay, much better now. As I was talking about, I work at the Vodafone Foundation as responsible for the Innovation Unity. Our foundation belongs to a group of 27 foundations in the whole world from Vodafone Group. Our view is mobile for good, to put mobile technology in the service of social action. In Spain, this commitment is developed, taking into account that accessibility is important when talking about elderly people and disabled people. This is the main field of our work, to make accessible technologies, to avoid the digital gap, breaking down barriers, and develop the whole potential of technologies in order to break down these existing barriers. So to discover how the mobile technology can boost abilities, so that we start building mobile for good stories. I wanted to share this app with you, this tool for all. We develop all the projects together with associations representing the people we are focusing in. Is the only way we can have success in the solutions we are developing. In this case, we have worked together with Prediv. This is a platform representing physical impaired people. We have been working with them in accessible tourism, developing some guides with information about accessible establishments that had already developed a kind of methodology in order to include trustful, reliable information about the safety of these establishments. As you can see here, several guides were developed in paper, but also we are at the website. But the biggest step was when we achieved to put all these contents into our mobile phone. So these guides could go into our smartphones. When working with them, we discovered that we could change something else, which is their way of working. So they used to go establishment by establishment with an exhaustive methodology, and through some inquiries, they gather all the information, then to put it into the computer. So with this app, from the tab, they can, it makes time shorter. Regarding the app that will be soon able to be downloaded for the iPhone phones, is a free app, accessible, compatible with other products as the screen readers from the Android or from the iPhone ones. It is accessible for navigators, for people with reduced mobility. It is designed with taking into account design for all, including the easy read in order to make it easier for people with intellectual impairments. So we have different choices to include favorites. It allows to register, to look for the establishments that we really need. The research is made by categories, provinces, different options are available. Another app is for the technicians. We discovered that we achieve how to include all the applications, but with the tablet, we could measure the slope of the ramps. Just putting the tablet on the slope, we could calculate the gradient of the ramps. I think Sefi, she was one of the first users. She will tell us about her experience about the tour for all, and I hope she will encourage you to download the app. Please, video.
Si no, pues
Well, if not, well, I invite you to look for the video in YouTube because you are a bit short of time. Well, homework. Please download the app and test it yourself, check it yourself, and please have a look to the video so that you have the experience from this user. Our user is called Sophie. Well, I carry on with the presentation. 2 more slides. Okay, that was the invitation to download the app from Google Play. It is also available, the whole offer of accessible tourism developed from their website. This is the iOS version for this application. We are working on incorporating more functionalities and more technology in order to improve the user experience, as the geo portals is about information, georeferential information, to access the contents in a map in order to optimize the description and to planify our travel. The option of mobile travel will be also incorporated. It will be always accessible for all kinds of disabilities, hearing, visual, mobility, or intellectual one. We will include the big print. Through the camera, we will be able to access to additional information through the mobile connection. This information has a great value coming from a database. The most important is being able to share it. This is another goal from phase 2, to make others enjoying this content. Today, after lunch, Calypso was presented here. Predict makes part of this consortium and takes part in the development of all this content. If you download our accessible app, you will see how mobile technology can help people with disability and with no disability to improve the experience of all users. This is also the philosophy from Vodafone Group, which is a word also. There's 200 million euros in awards. I invite you to take part on it. We want to show how accessibility in Spain is a priority, and all the important work that have been already done. I want to say also that mobile apps doesn't only make easier accessibility, but all these mobiles include information about accessibility, and all this, and it's also about information about the kind of devices, and all this information you can get it at the A portal from ONCE Foundation. There's another web, Artists for All, founded for the European Union, where you can get much more information. That's what I wanted to say. I'm sorry the video didn't work. It's your homework. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Marisatur. Congratulations for the job you are doing, creating this application with Prediv. It's wonderful, and I invite all of you to download it and to test it and to try it, because it's very useful. And I want to remind you that the award you are talking about for this kind of jobs is a worthwhile one, and you can have information on the website of Vodafone. So thank you very much for your presentation. Well, the next speaker is Eric Truner. Thank you for being here, for coming, for being here with us. He's president of Carpe Vitam. He studied law and linguistics in different European studies. He's a social entrepreneur. He is the boss of a non-for-profit organization. He always runs a cultural review, Carpe Berlin. And apart from different projects that he created in 2012 on the old airport in Berlin, where he shows the last 100 years of history in 30 points of information using NFC technology. He has a lot of experience in the field of NFC. We have exchanged some cards, and his card has the NFC tag. He's a user. He's an expert on these technologies. He's going to talk to us about daily objects that talk to you using NFC communication. So to overcome informational barriers in daily life. How to make these objects to talk to us. Eric, please. Thank you.
Muchas gracias para...
Thank you very much for being here. Thank you for the organizer, ONCE. Thank you for this wonderful Congress.
And so I'm going to talk in English because that's where I feel far more confident, and unfortunately I cannot see that. So don't be afraid if you might not be too near to me, because I will have to turn back every once in a while to know where I'm standing. Ladies and gentlemen, I hold the world, but as the world, Cristiano and dear friends, a stage where every man must play its part, and mine is a reduced one. And you know what's the reason? The reason is I'm close being blind. Although I'm blind, I do not really fear the world, but sometimes the world is fearing me, and because I'm a little alien. And that alien position put me into place to actually try to find possibility of actually getting things to talk to me. And I'm in a very lucky position to work with a great company and lots of great people together who are nerds. They breathe very special when they're in their phase, and I love that. And we came up with the solution MindText, an application which helps and hopefully also your ambient assisted living or life in touristic ways of being more accessible. Because reaching a point of interest, as we heard already a couple of times, is not just, it's also important to just really physically reaching that point, but it's very much of importance that you get an intellectual access. And that means, hold on, I've got to check that. Where am I? Hold on. MindText? Okay. What does it say?
MindText, make every day.
That's not the current presentation. It doesn't matter. MindText, make everyday objects talk to you. That's the scope, and that's what we're dealing with. Now it's obtaining, I presume, the information. We were based on the one-touch principle, because my friend said inclusive living is fair enough because we want to take you with along as a blind person. And I said, like, I don't want to be taken along by you guys. I want to take you along. And then they were flabbergasted and said, hey, hold on. you're the one in the need. I was like, no, you get it wrong. If I can convince you, then I really won. So I'm here to try to sell you something, although this application is free of charge, but I want to try to sell you an activity of a one-touch solution with a smartphone. And in that case, it's the Android system. And what we did was I actually made my 3.5-year-old son try to work the system. And now he can work it, and then I think we all are able to do that. My 72-year-old dad, he's currently corresponding with, communicating with my son and giving him fairy tales at the evening just by NFC technology, wireless, and they are distant 750 kilometers around. And so that's already one little example I want to stress here. Information can be created on a mobile platform, and we're now currently building up a PC, so stationary platform, so you can use it on the PC as well, if it's used for a wider range, meaning as a proper content management system. But you can upload information acoustically or audio information, and or you use the text-to-speech. At the iPhone, it is the voice-over. The iOS system has the voice-over, and the Android system has the text-to-speech, which is the equivalent. Yeah, now I'm a little bit lost. I think these are the requirements. Wonderful. Then I'm not lost. The requirements is the smartphone on the one hand, and it's the internet. We either have Wi-Fi, LTE, or UMTS. Then we have the smartphone as in such. I told you already earlier, it's the smartphone, and with the Android system we need the Jelly Bean. I don't want to go into technical detail, it's hard, it's you presumably all just really want that for the next coffee. So it is the Android system, and that's how it works. It's the NFC technology, and the greatest thing about NFC, I'm pointing out now currently a little big NFC tag, and but they come in far for a smaller. Here on the postcard, for example, which is available already at the reception, you can leave and send off your acoustic information to your left-at-homes and from the Congress. So that's the second or third requirement, and the last requirement is the Mintex application. And now, please, ladies and gentlemen, let me take you on a little journey back in time. We're going 1 year behind, and people told me not to mention Germany, not to mention Berlin in the context of airports. Well, I cannot help it. I have to. We, in the former city airport of Berlin, there is a very open space, very undefined, and even visually completely sighted people have the feeling of being lost there because there's nothing to see, although this airport has a lot of history. And so last year we applied for European funding, and we received it, and we implemented. I have to press a button. I love that picture, which stresses really the big area. And we illustrated here 42 historical documents of the past century, sorry, from 1908 up to 2008, speeches, interviews, and historical moments, the fall of the wall and whatever. The content doesn't really matter. The important thing is that we created a parkour. Yeah, a parkour where you walk around and you touch more than 30 information posts with the NFC, and immediately the information is accessible via the original audio, which gives you a rather authentical aspect, and you can close your eyes, even as a sighted person, and you can still feel the atmosphere because those are the real historical documents. Now, currently we are dealing with museums and try to, especially as this system is so minimal invasive, you can stick them anywhere, whether it's on a bottle or a hammer, it doesn't matter. And we use it for two aspects. We use it on the aspect of orientation. Where am I? What is the situation like? How big is the room? Where should I go to find the next transponder? And second is we make exponents and exhibits talk to you, like we have here, Homer. And we give information using standards of the Android system. So I mentioned already the talkback system. So the quality is not like it was 10 years ago when I first tried to get into artificial and synthetic voice synthesis. In our days, you can adapt very, very easily. For example, with the a cappella group, very good voice synthesis, and you wouldn't even hear that it is a computer. Now, what you see here is a cruise ship. Why did we choose the cruise ship as an outlook in the future? The cruise ship is a wonderful example of a little bit closed universe as it's such. Those who have been on a cruise ship, sighted or not, have certainly been lost more than once. And that's what we said, like, how wonderful. You have a casino there, you have a bank, you have a restaurant, you have hotel, you have amenities, leisure activities, and that's basically where simply sticking a transponder at the point of interest, and you can orientate yourself, you find your room back again, you know you're on deck B, not on deck C, you know you have to go to the casino, which is 3 floors down, and you know the opening offers whatever the cruise ship provides you with. It has a lot of security aspects to it as well, and this is not put into place yet. It's not even near being practical, but it just illustrates a very compact aspect of tourism for all, where Mindtext, or I don't want to go and make advert for Mindtext, I want to go and make advert for NFC technology, can be used. Now, and some people might say, hey, hold on, he talked about internet, ha ha ha. It's the intranet on that ship, and so therefore that's possible to bring into life. Let me... That's crap. What's that? Oh, here. Actually, I wanted to conclude with that one, so I just go forward. And here, the challenges. Thank you. The challenges are currently that we need to face the aspect of recognition. Recognition by the people in concern. We're talking about blind and visually people currently, but also deaf when it comes to sign languages and videos being transmitted via Mindtext. That's one aspect, so therefore we're hoping that we get your okay to continue with our adaptation and development on that sector. Second is that we are facing the challenge that we, and it's a classic question, and it's very normal and natural, where do you place those transponders? So we need rules of standardizing positioning of NFC technologies. Maybe that's a challenge for universal design, and we're very much hoping to find cooperating partners who help us to indicate people where and how they should place it the best way. Advantages. Advantages are the instant information. You get it on the fly. It's the one-touch principle. My dad's finger are far too dry. My son is far too clumsy. So they just have to hold the mobile phone there, and you get the instant and you get information on the fly. The second information is, or the second aspect is that it's easy to use and it's minimal invasive. You don't really have to interfere with any architecture. So, for example, when I was in the elevator on the hotel, I always go on the 6th floor instead of the 5th. Now, after the 10th time, now I know where the button for the 5th floor is. And even in museums, the exhibit, of course, every director says it's a whole artistic concept. Yeah, great. Great for him, not good for me. When he says, I have an audio guide. Yeah, good for him. But the audio guide is numbered by his guided tour. If I want to leave that tour, I cannot just go and skip and go next. I'm standing in front of a Gerhard Richter, and instead of getting Gerhard Richter, I get a Miro information. So then I'm lost again. And I don't get this independence. I don't get this real proper participation in cultural life as and such. To conclude, that's all, I think. Oder?
That's the challenge.
Oh, the challenge? Oh, yeah. And then, that's it. Thank you.
Muchas gracias, Eric.
Thank you very much, Eric. You just used your time as everyone else. Thank you very much. I'm very grateful. Thank you for all that you told us. We would like to know much more about the technology you were talking about, and we are not afraid of you, I can assure you. Thank you for all the experience. Our next speaker is François Xavier Bois, is co-founder and responsible of the Innovation Lab and of Scopalto.com. Is an investor in several web companies, and he has written many different books, always related with technology. It's a luxury to having him here. He will talk about Carnex and about the search engines. Thank you very much. I give you the floor.
Good afternoon. I am François Xavier Bois, founder of the digital agency Carnex and creator of undistrict.com, a French website whose baseline is accessibility for all, everywhere in one click. So undistrict.com can be used to find accessible places in France. We hope as soon as possible to create a worldwide database of such establishments. If we can find partners in this Congress to have more countries in our database, it would be very good for us. The site is free for everyone. The end users that want to find locations, and for the manager of the establishment that can fill his profile through a private interface, web interface. Sorry. Okay. This is the home page. The map shows the accessible places. A color indicator shows the density of accessible places in each region. By clicking on the map, you zoom on the region and you can find more precisely the different accessible places. The blue bar at the top can be used to customize the interface. For example, you can change the size and the color of the text. And the white menu in the blue square on the left of the interface is used to filter the establishments according to their type. Sorry. To find a location, a user can use the map available on the homepage or a search engine available on every page in the navigation bar. In that search engine, you can enter either the name of a region, a city, or a street. The results are presented as a list or as a map. You can also, in this interface, filter on the categories of the location. For example, if you search accessible places on the Rue de Rivoli, you can choose to only show the museums or the restaurants or the hotels. Undistrict has many specific features. One of them is the fact that we offer information for all the disabilities. This is a major difference with other websites in France. For the web accessibility, we also try to build pages that are accessible for everyone. However, working with a blind professor in France, we choose to create a specific interface for blind people. This interface is only a text interface which works more like a dialogue with the user. We ask the question, where do you want to go, what do you want to visit, and a dialogue begins. It is a choice that we made, and we had very good feedbacks about it. All type of location can be registered on our website. So we have a list here. We have a museum, hotels, so many categories that belongs to the tourism category, but also sport facilities or health facilities. Our main objective building our website was to provide information that is very specific and truly useful. We often find a website that only say if a location is accessible. It tells accessible yes or no. I don't think it is a very useful information for our public. So we work on defining more than 200 accessible criteria. Each accessible criteria is specific to the category of the place and is specific to a kind of handicap. I show you two of those 200 criteria. The first one is the bath. The room has a bath with transfer to the left. It is very accurate criteria, and we see that it is a criteria which is specific to the category accommodation and to the handicap physical disability. Another criteria is the place is affiliated to a system providing a reading of the menu via telephone. This one is specific to restaurant and to the hearing impairment. We work on those criteria with the Paris region, the Île-de-France region council, and we also work with 4 representative associations. Each association represents a major handicap. I want also to thank the Paris region because for this region we have a partnership, and each time a place registers on district and the place is located in near Paris, in fact, one people from the region will go to the place and will check the accessibility, all the criteria that has been declared on our interface will be checked. I presented the search interface, and now I show you a page which is a profile of a point of interest. So for each profile, we give information, general information, for example, address, contact, and we also show a map, a street view that can be useful, and other details. For example, we give for the accessibility all the criteria that has been checked. And we also provide all the accessible events that occur on this point of interest. For example, a museum can declare all the shows that occur in the museum that are accessible to disabled people. We also show the nearby accessible places around the point of interest that we are looking for the profile. We can also comment on the information. And we provide also an open data web service. I will talk about open data just afterward. Sorry. Yes, the facilities. Also, on the map that shows where the place is located, we can show more information. We call those information facilities. For example, we can show all the parking places that are available to disabled people. Those information were sent by the police department. We also show, for example, all the accessible bus stops. Those information were given by the organizations that deal with all the subways and bus in Paris. We also provide accessible toilets and all the train station. So it is many information useful around a point of interest. Open data is a very important point for us. What I mean by open data, it is the fact that all the accessible information that I collect on my website about accessibility, in fact, this data I want to share it with every website or every mobile application that want to provide information about accessibility. I really don't want to keep this information for me. If I can create a kind of a new ecosystem with my data, it would be a great opportunity for me. I think it is this way of dealing with data is good because I can offer more visibility to the places that register on my website. I told you that there are 200 criteria. So when a manager of a location fill all the information about his place, it can be quite long. Can be quite difficult, but in exchange, I assure him that the information will be spread in other websites and in other mobile applications. The website is participatory in the sense that a location can freely add information about his place, and users can leave comments about the offer and also specific comments about the accessibility. This is the interface to add criteria and all the information about the accessibility, about the events, about dealing with the comments. It's a private interface for the people that is responsible of the point of interest. We also provide a mobile application. At the moment, it is only an iPhone application. This application is mainly useful to respond to the question, what are the accessible locations near me? We also provide more features in this application. For example, I can give the itinerary between where I am at the moment and the point of interest where I want to go. I give the itinerary walking by car and using public transport. Another specific feature of the mobile application is the fact that when I comment a point of interest, I can add a photography. The mobile application has been built. It is a native web mobile application. but it is built with web technologies like HTML5 or JavaScript. So the application is 100% accessible and is completely compatible with the screen reader of the iOS operating system. We earned some, not earned, we had some awards, and I would like to tell about two of them. The first one is the one that we've been awarded.
Un minuto más, por favor.
So
1 minute más, please.
1 minute.
Okay. So the word I skip. And so I thank you very much. And I would like to thank the ONCE Foundation for the opportunity to present a district outside of France. It is the first time it occurs. And we really need visibility and an opportunity to find another country that would be interested in working with us. We really do not want to be seen as a French-only website. So thank you one more time. Thank you.
Thank you, Francois. A great job you are doing for using more than 200 criteria. I found this application quite new. You talk about open data. It's really interesting. Handshake is a really interesting application. Thank you for your presentation. I will personally follow it. Thank you for your presentation. You've been very kind. The last speaker today, and he's not the last one, he's Roberto Vitali. Thank you for being here with us. He's the president of Village for All. He's a journalist in Emilia-Romagna in Italy. He has worked since 1992 as a tourist responsible for disabled people. He's the president and founder of Village for All. And he has become a member of the Ministry of Tourism. He has become a member of the Tourism to Promote Accessible Tourism, and he contributed to draw up the manifesto on accessible tourism in 2010. Thank you for being here, and the speech is the mobile application Village for All Inside. Thank you, Roberto.
En esta sede de congreso y de estar en esta hermosa ciudad de Ávila, que parece mucho a mi ciudad.
En esta ciudad que se parece mucho.
Because my Spanish is very poor, like in English maybe. So thank you for the occasion for presenting Village for All and V4A Inside in this Congress. Thank you to ONCE and the organizer for this initiative, this Congress. So our mission is to ensure vacation for all. Village for All is a company born in Italy in 2008. It's fruit of more than 20 years of experience in accessible tourism. Our product is born with the patronage, but not the money, from the Ministry of Tourism, from the National Board, Tourist Board, the Italian Federation Overcoming Handicap, and Feder Camping is a federation between the owner of campsite, and the National Laboratory for Accessible Tourism, SIPO, and we are a voluntary quality brand. Touristic accommodations such as hotel and resort are our main customer. Design and accessible hospitality means hospitality free from architectural barrier and obstacle that may limit the autonomy of the customers, but above all, accessible hospital mean welcome, efficiency, professionality, and great attention to the quality of service offered. It means for touristic accommodation being able to be highly competitive of any market and to enjoy a competitive advantage that allows to distinguish. We are also effective member in INET and affiliate member in UNWTO and School International. I am a national advisor for accessible tourism in Italy for this association. As I said, our mission is to guarantee a vacation for all. Our target are elderly people, family with small children, people with allergy or food intolerance, environmental allergies, people with physical disabilities, sensory disabilities, and cognitive disabilities, people with problems related to their state of health, like dialysis, diabetes, etc. Too often we hear about the respect of the law that regulates accessibility and the removal of architectural barriers, or an accessibility linked to the different type of disability. Accessibility has always been summed up to the use of the logo with the man in wheelchair, that is in Italy, but in many countries. Instead, you need to be clear that the wheelchair is a tool for personal autonomy. As you understand, we cannot reduce everything to one or more standard of accessibility with one or more logo for accessibility. And not all that each person who needs some assistive technology to move around still retain personal skill, physical resource, culture, etc. Strictly personal and cannot be standardized. To satisfy tourists with special need, we can act in only one way. Provide a reliable information in order to put each person with his needs and abilities in a position to decide autonomously what choice to make for his/her holiday. As mentioned earlier, there is no standard for personal assessment and general statement such as accessible or partially accessible or let alone not accessible. There is not accessibility for all, and a single model of accessibility not exist. An accessibility statement in according to the single disability will be unable to exist. This is our idea, obviously. V4A is a multilingual web portal where everyone can access and find the information necessary to conclude if the tourist facilities are meeting his or her needs. The tourist facilities with the V4A brand also declare they are sharing the value. The most important and universal of this is the inclusion. The value is of the good conduct from INET and the value shared from the Manifesto of Accessible Tourism in Italy. V4A has developed its own method of work that promotes the growth and development of constant accessibility and related service inspired to the circle of Deming for continuously quality improvement in a longer-term perspective. We check because we visit personally all the facilities and we collect all the information directly with the V4A Inside application. Auto-certification is not considered. Plan at the end of the audit, we provide a document with a list with all possible improvement in terms of accessibility and services that the structure can achieve to increase the accessibility and its hospitality for all. The implementation of intervention or services recommended by us carried out by the hotel. The return of our inspector for a new audit to check all improvement and a new elaboration of the list of improvements. Our working tools are V4A Inside. V4A Inside represents a technological and organizational innovation in the process of collection and processing of accessibility data, facilities and tourist interest in cultural tourism. V4A Inside doesn't evaluate tourist facilities in accordance with the regulation or law of the country. The platform is multilingual and it is based in objective data. The training is extremely important element. Basic training of welcome and hospitality is provided to all the tourist facilities. Another tool is a transparent accessibility. What does transparent accessibility mean? Clearly, no special projects are necessary to achieve an accessible hospitality, but one has to understand the needs of all in order to be able to respond effectively and without special solution to special need. The reference point must be the universal design. We talk about in different moments during this Congress. As we say daily, accessibility for all does not exist, and there is not a single model of solution for accessibility. Village for All is a project born in Italy in 2008 without public or private funding, as I say, or subside of any kind of European project. We currently have touristic facilities in 13 Italian regions, in 2 regions in Croatia, and soon will be present in Brazil, Benelux, UK and Germany. The customer of our service are the entire touristic system and hospitality industries such as hotel, resort, agri-tour, but also point of tourist interest such as museum and monument places. The application, the app V4A Inside and these guarantees, the technological development is rooted in different projects in Italy and Europe carried out by Association of People with Disability. The app V4A Inside has taken more than 3.5 years for development and has been fully realized without funding, either public or private. V4A Inside, in addition to being used to verify the data of the facilities that require the brand V4A, it also used for special projects relating to accessible tourism in different contexts. The first of all, the Veneto region, which won a special project in accessible tourism from the Italian Ministry of Tourism, in Emilia-Romagna region, in the country of San Marino, in Marche region, and from the Foundation Serono for its project A Ruota Libera, Free Will, where the aim is to realize a specialized tour guide about the most important destination in Italy, and tour operator Info Vacanze is a tour operator coordinates a network of 1,500 travel agencies in Italy, and it covers all the Italy. So let's look in detail at the most important properties of V4A Inside. First of all is simplicity and precision. It was developed in Apple operating system that guarantees stability and accuracy of the system, while maintaining such as a simplicity of use that even people without computer experience can work with it. An intuitive use that allows a quick data entry. A path of data collection that is built according to the needs of the structure that we will assess. At the moment, more than 32 different kinds of structure are foreseen, but entering new structure is very easy. That type of structure are hotel, agri-tour, I say first. And here are just some examples. Data entry is friendly and easy. Using the keyboard is a normal complement. Switch on-off system and drop and down a menu to accelerate the data input and maintain the precision in the data collection. The system is organized to always check the data entry and is congruence and compares them considering 2 minutes. Oh, I tried. The work done by auditor. Fast and furious. So, data will immediately be collected as well as inserted. No other action are necessary, such as a transcription or processing, which usually are a source of mistake. The output that can be generated through Vifra Inside are listed quoted map showing the layout of the environment and tell about through the objective information. Another output is the map of distribution, a map that is used to place the services and the path necessary to connect them. Another output is the list of improvement for accessibility. The GPS information is integrated because I want to have the absolute guarantee the auditor has actually gone in the site and carry out the assessment from the start to finish to the survey. The platform was developed in multi-language, actually is in Italian, English and Brazilian, but is very easy to implement in other language. And I want to say 2 questions. Vifra, it's possible to rent for other city or for the other country. It's possible to rent from us all over the world. It can work in every country. There is not disponible by iTunes because it's a professional app and the information is the information need. Not only the end user, but the tour operators is made for tour operator at the agency. Thank you for your attention. Welcome.
Muchísimas gracias.
Thank you very much, Roberto. I'm sorry for pressing you. Thank you because we had a delay of 45 minutes. We don't have any more time for the questions. So at least in the English program it was a mistake. Dinner time is at 9:30. I think we can use at least 10 minutes for some questions because it's the most enriching experience for the debate. As you can see, I'm not anymore Juan Luis Quincoses. I'm Jesus Hernandez, and well, he had to go to Madrid, and well, this is my part to moderate now. Okay, is there any question? Everything is clear? I think you want to go out and to enjoy the wall. I think you want to go to the terrace. There's no many people. Okay, I don't speak anymore. Is there any question? Last opportunity? Come on, okay. We leave? Okay, let's go to the terrace. Okay, thank you very much, everyone. Bye.